Hey everybody, if you're a restaurant or hotel business, you know how crucial it is to manage costs without sacrificing quality. That's where FoodBuy, the largest GPO in the industry, comes in. With FoodBuy, you gain access to exclusive pricing, unmatched buying power, and a vast network of trusted suppliers, all designed to help you save time and money. Whether you're running a high-end hotel or a bustling restaurant, FoodBuy is your one-stop partner to streamline purchasing and get the best deals. Want to see how they're changing the game? Visit foodbuy.com today and take your supply chain to the next level. That's foodbuy.com, making smarter purchasing easier than ever.
Jimbo loves the opening theme song. Man, it was like he was dancing in Prosper and he got twinkle toes.
That's right. Twinkle toes Frischling.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see that again. Wait till tonight.
Live from Toast Studios in Dallas, Texas. Coming to you from FSTech, Toast Studios, the Hospitality Hangout podcast. Toast, built for restaurants, built for you. Jimbo, we are coming to you live at FSTech Conference here in Grapevine, Texas. I love it. Jimbo, we had a great show. Kick us off, buddy.
It is. This is going to be a good time. A special edition of the Hospitality Hangout on the road. Please allow me to introduce you more formally to our crew. The Hospitality Hangout is a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Hospitality share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry you love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy. I'm going to throw it back to my brother from another mother, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the restaurant guy.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy, for that kind introduction. And for all those listening, feel free to call me Schatzy. And we are branded, we are at the intersection, Branded Hospitality, the intersection of capital, hospitality, technology, innovation, and of course, really all things technology. I mean, we are really all things technology. Jimmy, and I'd like to add, Jimbo, you know what else we are?
What else?
Quick serve restaurants.
Quick serve restaurants.
Yeah, so we do it all.
We also do full serve restaurants.
We do full serve. We do it
We do
everything.
a lot.
We really
the intersection of a lot of things. That is a crowded intersection.
But I got to tell you, Jimmy, today I want to talk to you about something a little bit more important. I know we joke around, Jimmy. We kid around a lot on this podcast. You know, we shouldn't because it's a serious podcast about serious things, right?
Sure.
But I'd love to talk to you today a little bit about FSTech and what we're doing here.
Nice.
We are actually featuring Branded's Innovation Alley for the fourth year in a row here in Dallas at FSTech. We are hosting the Innovation Alley. And we have brought in some of the most incredible partners to help us bring this to life. We are featuring 21 of the most innovative companies, and helping us bring this to all the operators out there is Adyen, Comcast, and Powerhouse Dynamics. So I got to tell you, big shout out to our friends at Adyen, okay? Comcast and Powerhouse Dynamics.
Couldn't do it without them. You want to talk about takes a village? This event could not get done without our corporate partners.
No,
how nice is that? We have industry experts that are diving in to help operators and make sure that we can present these 21 awesome tech companies.
And they're great. And Jimbo, according to my notes here, I have a call to action here I have to read. So I'd like to say this. Adyen, engineered for ambition, adyen.com. Then I'd like to say this, Jimbo. This is awesome.
Keep going.
I could do music. Should I put a little music on while I do this?
I think so.
Yeah, let me put a little music on. I think we need a little something like to like get it going, you know? Hey, it sounds better. Let me try that again, okay? Yeah. Adyen. Engineered for ambition, Adyen.com. Comcast Smart Solutions. Making smart people. Go to Xfinity.com/smart solutions. Powerhouse Dynamics. Delivering the efficient connected kitchen. PowerhouseDynamics.com. Jimbo, didn't that sound better?
You know what? I think the music really brought it together.
Yeah, and it sounded a little more professional.
Yes.
Jimbo, let's kick it off. I got to tell you, we got a guest here. I mean, speaking about Adyen, one of the largest payment processors. They do a lot more, but that's what they're known for in the whole world. Jimbo, publicly traded, they do like $5 billion. Guess who's here with us?
I think I know who's here with us. He's sitting right next to me.
I want you to guess, though. Just guess. Pretend you don't know.
Pretend I don't know?
Yeah, who do you think it is?
I think we needed to kick off this podcast with someone who's not only been an industry veteran, not only has been leaning into tech,
right,
not only understands the operator, but is also committed to fitness and wellness. That's what I think.
How do we get somebody?
Fitness and wellness in addition to all those things. Now I know. Now you want to know who's here? Phil Crawford. I was going to curse in the middle there.
Yeah,
I was going to give him a middle name that he didn't want. Mr. Phil Crawford is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Global F&B head. That's food and beverage for you folks out there of Adyen. I mean, I got to tell you, we are super excited to have. It's a third-time guest, Jimbo.
Three-timer.
2 more times, and he gets something.
Jacket.
You get a jacket.
You get the jacket.
So, I mean, I got to tell you, head of unified commerce at Adyen. I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know what that means, but we're going to find out what it means.
Good thing we got Phil to help us here.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Listen, Jimbo, you know before we get into it, and I mean, I know Phil's been on 3 times, but you know what? Right? Or is this his 3rd time?
This is his 3rd time.
Right. So Phil has been on 2 times. This is his 3rd time. And I know we've probably gone through, how does one become the global F&B head of a $5 billion company based in Amsterdam? How does that happen, Jimbo? I mean, you probably would like to do that, right, Jimmy? That's something you want to do.
I'm working on it.
Right.
So let me sooner I get away from Schatzy, the better off I'm going to be.
Right. So if you want to get away from me and you want to take on a test and you want to so here's what you got to do. I'm going to give you some fun facts about Phil, and this is how you get to be the global F&B head of Adyen.
Phil's going to judge how many you get right.
First of all, Jimbo, you have to go to Northern Arizona University. You got to go there. Okay? And then you go to University of Phoenix and you get your MBA, right? Just like you, Jimbo.
Yep.
Okay? You go to Harvard and you study business analytics. Okay? We don't even know what that means, but you study business analytics. It's unbelible. Okay?
Hey, we're not French. This we, that's you. I know what it means.
and now I have some new fun facts here that I'm not reading those other facts. I'm just skipping over these fun facts. But Phil's always been in hospitality.
Yes.
Okay, his first job was at Carl's Jr.'s. He was 16 years old. 16 years old.
Get him early.
Carl's Jr. Yeah,
get him early.
Yeah, and then during college, okay, he worked not only in restaurants, but he managed the rooms division, okay, for some very large hotel properties, okay? He went back to college in 2021, have no idea why, but he did. He felt like he needed more college, okay? He graduates from Harvard with this crazy degree in analytics or whatever. He loves restaurants, becomes the CIO of the Yard House Restaurants. I think that's a Darden, right? 11 years there doing all sorts of cool stuff, right? Then he goes to Shake Shack. You've heard of that, Jimbo. That's New York, Shake Shack.
The Shack of Shake, absolutely.
CIO, the head of technology at Shake Shack. This is the guy. They had good food, but they had no tech. He put tech in the Shack, okay? He's 4 years there. He goes to Godiva Chocolate, He's doing some stuff over there. It's really cool. But then he becomes the CTO of CKE. That's Carl's Jr.'s and Hardee's. Back to Jimbo.
Can always go
Remember
home.
what I said?
Can always go
Where
home.
was he when he was 15? Are you listening?
I was listening. Carl's Jr.
So he goes back. Carl called him up personally. Carl calls him up. He's like, Phil, listen, when you were 15, I saw something in you. And he steals him from Godiva. Steals him. Carl steals him, right? And then you know what happens, Jimbo? You know what happens. He becomes the global head of Adyen, okay? And now he is the head, and he won a very prestigious award of the Chief Information Officer of the Year by Orbi, O-R-B-I-E. Don't know what that stands for, but it seems like it's very impressive because they have an award. Phil won an award, that's the bottom line. So without further ado, let's bring in the global F&B head of Adyen, Jimbo, Mr. Phil Crawford. I gotta tell you, Phil, did we get anything right?
You got it all wrong.
Really?
You got it all wrong. You forgot the most important thing about me.
There was nothing?
No, you got a lot of things right.
What'd I forget?
You forgot about the tattoos.
Yes.
The tattoos.
Oh.
Tattoos.
Okay.
But not on his face.
Not on my face.
Phil Crawford.
He needed to get a real job. Not on his
Got
face.
a lot of tattoos.
Not on the
There
face.
he is.
That's what it is.
How's that better?
That's all I care about.
Listen, let's get into it, Jimbo, because we got a lot to get into, and I think I wasted about 45 minutes on that.
You did great, Schatzy. Yeah, right. Listen, I want to talk about the fragmented payments landscape. And for all those who are following Brandon along, this is an industry that has fragmentation, and it certainly is the case for restaurants when it comes to payments, and it's a major pain point. So, Phil, can you paint us a picture of what it looks like for a typical restaurant chain and how it impacts their day-to-day operations? All the guests are dealing with payments, but I don't think people really understand the pain point. So what's a typical restaurant chain with regard to payments, day-to-day operation, how it impacts?
Yeah, it's a great question. But first and foremost, thanks for having me back for the 3rd time.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's awesome to be here with you guys.
Oh, we're super excited.
I'm more
The new
excited.
blazer, by the way, it's stunning.
I know.
It's stunning.
I love the green team.
That's how it is, man. I got to represent every way. So, the fragmentation in the space really has been kind of this long-term, long-tail kind of thing, We brought so much technology into the restaurants. It's so disparate in so many different ways. There's more complexities. There's different kind of inefficiencies with that. And all because of this whole rise in digital ecosystems, right? COVID hits, we all panic, we do different radical stuff, and all of a sudden we start bringing these things together. So the fragmentation actually causes issues. Because it's hard for reconciliation, it's hard for fraud, yada, yada, yada. So the cool part about the actual Adyen experience is that you can actually go ahead and then synergize this data. You can synergize the different fragmented systems and bring it into one. And then actually you can utilize to personalize marketing, to enhance loyalty programs, drive business, but most important, it's not just a local fragment, it's a global fragment we can bring together through our innovative technology, which is kind of why I went and did this, right? I was the CEO of some major brands, and I saw this as kind of the unlock, the next frontier, as we used my Star Trek reference for you there.
I like it.
You're welcome.
I like that.
To pull this forward.
Wish I had Star Trek music right now. That'd be awesome.
Oh, wow.
We get it.
I can see Phil being a captain. I can see him being a captain at the Enterprise, Starship Enterprise.
Is Phil Captain Kirk?
He could be, no question. Look at him.
I could be Data.
Data.
You get it?
Data?
Get it? Because the Adyen brings data together?
Yeah, I love it.
I try.
I love it.
I
love it.
But yeah, look, the bottom line is we help consolidate these fragments.
Wait a minute. Data, that's from like new Star Trek. That's not OG Star Trek.
Want me to go Spock on you?
Yeah, you got to go you were like bringing me like the new Star Trek series.
We just lost all our young audience. They're all like, what? Old Star Trek? Captain Kirk?
Yeah, like 1969 Star Trek.
Yes. There you go. Bye, everybody.
Exactly. As in William Shatner, I have to go.
Well, you talked about leveraging data. You brought up data from the Star Trek character. And it's interesting because for personalized marketing and enhancing loyalty program, which is super important today. I mean, retail in particular has really embraced the whole personalization experience and really understanding what people like. Restaurants, I think and hotels, I think we're hospitality a little bit behind on that, but now it's changing, right? Mm-hmm. So, without naming names, what's the coolest or most innovative use of payment data that you've seen right now in restaurants implementing? Like, what have you seen a restaurant implement that you're like, wow, that's so cool? Like, either we're doing that at Adyen, I wish we were doing that. What's the coolest stuff you're seeing?
Okay, so I won't name names because I didn't get any swag.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would.
Okay.
Fair point.
That's how I roll.
Okay.
But some of the coolest things that I've seen really isn't here in the States. It's kind of overseas, where it involves the restaurant using transaction history to predict when the individual's guests, before they even arrive, like what they're going to buy, what their habits are, based on real-time large language model processing, as well as artificial intelligence. So imagine like if we tailored your history of what you bought in the past and what we could actually leverage what you might buy in the future and which specials are and what your personal likes are. That has actually been a really cool thing that I've seen live in some restaurants. But the caveat is we're building our own actually at Adyen too, right? With shopper recognition, where you can actually utilize some of the tap and go technology.
I mean, I got to tell you, Phil, the live audience, that resonates. See, that resonates. Thank you. There's a lot. Adyen's doing a lot. People, keep it down. There's more. Phil has more. Phil has more, yes.
The whole shopper recognition environment really is, we just talked about Star Trek, right? This really is the next generation stuff, where it's so seamless that the consumer doesn't even know it's actually transpiring. That it becomes a truly frictionless environment and becomes borderless, to name a keyword that we've used over time and time again, simply because the ease of use and this digital mindset we have as consumers are evolving. Like either those restaurants are engaged with this or they're not, because it's happening now in such real-time facets that the guests expect it and the consumers expect it. And we have to meet them at the middle. That's what it comes down to.
And Adyen is at the center. Am I right?
We're at the center.
At the center. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
I like your comment a lot about...
My comment?
Should I say yes and lie to you? No. I like Phil's comments.
You never like my comments.
I love your comments, but I like Phil's comment about how it's somewhat being seamless to the guest. I think, look, we're a people business, we're a food and beverage business, and we need to be a tech-enabled and tech-supported business. But to me, what I'm hearing from Phil is when you're leveraging the data and you're doing it in a manner that is seamless and frictionless to the guest, it's almost they don't even know what's happening. There's no tricks here, but how much more enjoyable is that? Because as the guest, they get to focus on what they want. The people, the food, the beverage, the experience, and yet they're getting a better experience thanks to all the work that's going on behind the scenes. I want to ask, as you look ahead and you envision Adyen becoming the payments partner for restaurant chains, I'll put you on the spot a little bit. What's one bold prediction you have on how payments technology will revolutionize the dining experience? I'll give you out to 5 years. Things happen really fast, but revolutionizing the dining experience in the next 5 years. What do you think?
So I've said this in the past. there's a lot of actually cool things.
Should I write this down?
You should write it down because it's like a moment in time. So when it comes in future in the 5 years.
Yeah, no, I want to say Phil said that.
And time, correct.
100%.
So imagine you walk into a restaurant and there's modern technology that recognizes your face, or biometrics. Right. It knows who you like, what you like, or if you like somebody, who you like as well.
Who you like.
It can be important too.
Yeah.
Like the digital menu boards change, the experience changes, the ambiance has changed, right? Your order is ready. Everything is so simplified, all based off of who you are. And then who you are is tied back to your payment data, in essence, to bring it full circle. That is the restaurant of the future in 5 years. Everything is thought for you. As we kind of leverage these technologies to go ahead and take us to that next generation, and circle back again, like your individualistic ideas and your individualistic tastes are pronounced through technology. It's going to be the game changer.
No, I love it. I got to tell you,
really good. I really like that.
Because I always taught Jimmy. Jimmy, when we go out for dinner, I always say, I want to sit down and I just want them to bring me food that I want, and they know already what I want, right?
It's like the old Vegas days.
I want them to know.
I was saying, the Schatzy kind of gets that at our own restaurant, but it's hard to get that at
somewhere else.
When we don't own the restaurant. But I actually really dig what's happening here, and I imagine it's going to play a role into the entire personalization and the digital marketing that folks are going to be somewhat. You're going to pitch the secret menu item to the loyal customer because you know they like it. You know that's a dish they care about, and you'll have that information thanks to the data and then how you deploy it.
Yeah.
Before we move on, let's play a little game called Payment Time Machine.
Oh.
Adyen Payment Time Machine. If you could bring one modern payment technology, Phil, right? Back when you were that 16-year-old, gorgeous 16-year-old scrumptious little boy at Carl's Jr.'s, right? What would it be? What would blow young Phil's mind? That 16-year-old that, he knew nothing, What would have blown your mind?
Well, back in the day, you had to fumble with cash and coin, right?
Yep.
What would blow my mind is the advent of tap and pay. Just everything is so touchless. That would have blown my mind back then, 5 years.
Back then.
Right? Just imagine it. Everything is on your phone like it is now.
What year were you in Carl's Jr.? What year was that?
I don't want to date myself.
Come on, nobody cares. I mean, you look great. Look at you. I mean, you ran like 10 miles yesterday.
How'd you know that?
You told me.
Oh, I did.
You told me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just trying to, in perspective, what year was that?
This was like 87.
So 1987, what was the best tech we had in 87? Was that a fax machine? Did we have a fax machine?
I had a Commodore 64 back then.
You had a Commodore, so it was dial-up like 16K or whatever?
I think it was probably 8K.
Right?
That's your best imitation.
AOL wasn't there yet, right? AOL was until 90s.
Was not even close. Yes.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
It was super early stage. But just think about where you could. Back then it was an old big brick and mortar point of sale system, right? And maybe a credit card machine that had to make a token handshake that took like a minute to take done. Just imagine how fast and more efficient it would have been if we had that technology. More importantly, mom and dad could track you back then, which actually is a bad thing. Now that I think about it from back. We had our own bikes. We get lost. As long as we came home before the sun came up,
exactly.
we were okay.
No helmets.
No helmets.
Let's come
I don't
back.
even think we had seatbelts. Did we have seatbelts?
No. Riding in the back of trucks.
We didn't use them.
No, why would you ever use them?
And I feel like there were only lap belts. If you got an accident with a lap belt, I think you'd slice you in half. Right? You need the shoulder strap, right?
Or like the slide of death.
Yeah.
The steel slides.
I'm kicking into talking back. Okay. Clearly, Schatzy and I like to gab and chat a little bit, but we learned along the way. Sometimes our guests and friends have a question for us. So, Phil, we're going to let you take the microphone. You're allowed to ask us Please ask us anything you like. And as I like to say, nothing's off the table.
Phil, we give you Hospitality Hangout permission.
Yes. The
my goodness.
Only you. Very few people get that.
Yes.
All right. So I've got one. I'm going to start with you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you could swap places with any fictional character from a hospitality-themed TV show or movie just for one day,
ooh,
who would it be, and what hilarious chaos would ensue?
You know what? I'm going to give the first answer that came to my head, and it's probably not the most thoughtful answer I could give, but what immediately came to my mind.
Yeah.
I would like to be the chef in Rocky Balboa's little Italian restaurant called Adyen. Because in that last movie he did, the Balboa, all of a sudden he brought back all these. Spider was downstairs in the kitchen helping out, and Paulie was upstairs. And while the chef had such a small role, I got to tell you, that's like my favorite fictional character is Rocky Balboa. And I would just like to be involved. And if I could be working at Adrian's and listening to the old stories, I got to say, I would like to be. That's the first thing, not the celebrity.
It stinks in here, Nick.
I'm working at Adrian's, baby, downstairs in the kitchen of Rocky Balboa's little Italian restaurant. I got to tell you, I'd be having such a good time chatting with all the characters from that not even trilogy, a 2X trilogy of all those movies they did. That's the role I want.
That's a great answer.
That's what I want.
I thought you were going to
Jimmy always has the best answer.
I thought you were going to go with Alice for a second.
Oh,
That'd be
Alice
Mel.
is good.
Wait, Alice from the Mel's Diner?
Yes,
Mel's Diner.
exactly.
But we didn't. But weren't you asking our? We don't care what you want to do.
Well, what he was saying is Jimmy got the answer
wrong.
The answer I wanted to hear was Alice. By the way, you named the character whose name you don't even know. You said Chef from Adrian's. So basically, that was a bad answer. Family Feud on the board says,
Well, I was going to go. Do I get that same question or no?
Would you like the same question?
I thought about it. I thought mine was good because I like
the same
what
one.
was Happy Days? Remember the diner? What was that?
Which one?
Was it Arnold's?
It was Arnold's.
But I don't want. But I liked Al.
we want Big Al.
Wasn't it called Arnold's and Al worked there or no?
Yes, Arnold's was, yes.
But before it was Arnold. It was Al.
It was Al.
Al Monaro from what do you call it? From that was he was the cop on Jimmy. Come on
Hey,
You lost me here.
I'm not bailing you out, baby. I'm not bailing you out. I do like Al.
Oh,
from
on the
Happy
Odd
Days.
Couple. On the Odd Couple.
Oh yes, he was the cop of the Odd Couple.
He was the couple. He was in Happy Days. He was the first guy running that diner.
Yes, and then they replaced him.
Right, with Arnold.
With Pat Morita.
Right. But I think, like hanging out at Arnold's, I thought was it Arnold's or I don't know what it was called back.
It was Arnold's.
Arnold's. So Al, and it seemed like first of all, he was never cooking. He was never making anything. He was just always there hanging out with Fonzie and hanging out with Richie. He was just hanging out. He was never, I don't even think anyone, they just, I don't know, it just seemed like a fun place to be, right?
Yeah.
I like that one. By the way, survey says, it's still Alice from Mel's Diner. That was the answer.
All right, that was the answer. All right, listen, we're going hot or not, all right? Quick game of hot or not. I'm going to throw out a few industry trends, words. Phil, I just want you to respond. What first comes to your mind? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Hot or not? QR code menus. Hot or not?
Not.
Cryptocurrency payments in restaurants. Hot or not?
Not.
Robot servers. Hot or not?
Not.
Personalized menu recommendations based on payment history.
Oh, that's got to be a hot.
Oh, yeah. I got to figure. That sounds like it was scripted right for you.
No way.
Jimbo, here to weigh in?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, when you laid out the choices of the hot or not, there was no question that last one resonated, particularly in light of everything that Phil was sharing about using the data to really enhance that guest experience. So while Phil, I'm happy to let you speak more about that. I want to go to the knots, and specifically one knot, because we continue to see people pushing the cryptos and the various, we'll call it, leveraging the newest and latest and greatest technology as it pertains to, these currencies. And you gave that a resounding not, and this is not a trick. I agree with you, and I have my own thoughts, but why the big no? Because there are people pushing this on our industry, and you are a payments expert. You have a lifetime of being in this industry. So ladies and gentlemen, that was a big not from a payments expert. So why don't you share a little bit about the big not?
Like, if you look at the Bitcoins and you look at the Dogecoins, it's just still too volatile. Like, honestly, it really is. And it's just not for widespread adoption yet. I just don't think the industry knows how to handle it, how to do the real-time conversions and stuff.
I think the key is
That's
adoption.
a big issue.
One
Adoption.
customer says, "Hey, do you accept crypto?"
Clearly, I'm in a certain kind of mood. Ding, ding, ding. That's the number one answer on the board as to why it's a not. We're not going to be the first industry that's going to make, if it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen way away from us. We are going to, if it works for every other industry, all right, we'll evaluate it. But they can't lead with us. No, they can't get the adoption. No way.
Definitely not. I think it'll start with arms dealers and drug dealers.
I think that's already happening.
Oh, okay, great. Because that's where I feel I can see that happening. You know what I mean?
By the way, we don't
I
have
need I need a nuclear bomb.
Schatzy,
Phil sells me a nuclear bomb, and how am I going to pay for that?
We don't have any crypto folks in our Innovation Alley, do we? If we do, I'm not going to go by the alley.
No.
I think I would have pissed them off. I
don't think so, Jimbo. I know. Look, it's going to happen one day. I'll be dead or playing that in Boca golf.
Yes, anyway, I wanted to highlight that because of your expertise. Robot servers, I'm in your camp. QR codes had their day, and it wasn't a long one. But the crypto, which we continue to see pushed upon us, I'm saying, fellas, careful out there. I don't see us adopting it anytime soon.
Yeah, I got to jump into Jimbo. Okay. We got to jump into right now the greatest segment of all podcast history, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, live from FSTech in Dallas. Okay. Brandon Quickfire. Brandon Quickfire, Texas edition.
Yes.
Phil,
Let's do it.
5 lightning round questions. Don't think too long. Okay, here we go. Favorite Texas-based fast food chain? Is it Whataburger, Taco Cabana, Fuddruckers, or Jimmy's favorite, Dairy Queen?
I mean, when in Texas, it's Whataburger.
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 Best Texas-born musician? Is it Beyonce, Willie Nelson, Selena, or Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Classic rock, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Let's do it.
I feel like Jimmy would go Willie Nelson. I feel like he likes Willie.
I was going to go Beyonce, and I was going to go crazy,
That's right. Yeah,
now.
Jimmy does. He likes Barry and Beyonce.
That's right. All about the bees.
Didn't you do a country song recently?
Which Texas set TV show, Phil, would you binge watch first? Would it be Friday Night Lights, King of the Hill, Walker, Texas Ranger, or Dallas?
Can I answer it with a theme song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Dallas.
Was that the theme song?
I thought it was. I was close, right?
I thought that was Dynasty.
No, I knew what he was doing. I knew it was Dallas. I was
Dallas.
I was going big Dallas too. Bobby Ewing.
How does Dallas?
Bobby Ewing, exactly.
Dynasties.
Bobby Ewing had that 2-seater Mercedes convertible. I thought that was like the end all of cars. Just like nothing could beat that.
So no one knows the team from Dallas. I have to pull it up. I have to bring it up.
Phil did it.
Fine,
I did it close.
It wasn't good.
I named that too.
True or false? The Alamo is located in Houston. Is the Alamo, the famous Alamo, that was where like Davy Crockett was,
Davy
right?
Crockett got killed.
Oh, he got killed there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's so sad.
I'm sorry.
Well, where's that located?
It's false.
Oh, it is not.
Not
Jimmy. Do you know where it is?
I know it's not in Houston.
Where is it?
It's in where the Spurs play. San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Antonio.
All right, last question. This is where things always get a little weird, a little hairy. Are you ready for the last question?
I am.
All right. If you were to challenge Jimmy Ryan to Texas-style cook-off the first person to perfectly cook a grill a steak, perfectly, okay? And perfectly to medium, it's probably medium rare, okay, Jimmy?
Yes.
So I want to preface that because it could be well done and take longer.
Steak, medium rare.
Okay. Who do you have better odds of beating? Perfectly cooked Texas-style cookout.
So after long thought, deliberation, and seeing how you ate everybody else's part of meals last night at dinner, I'm going to go with Jimmy because you would finish it. You'd finished it before it ever got done.
So I think he's beating me. You know what? I would have taken offense to that, except recently. I had a recent barbecue experience, and I have to say, I pulled the steak off, and a minute too late, and then it sat. And that extra, and I have to say,
Jimbo,
it got to medium. I lost that pinkish. So right now I'm feeling shame. I think Phil chose the right person.
There you go.
He would beat. Yes, I would be the first one to ruin the steak among this group. I would do it. I feel shame.
What size would you have?
Or the sides.
What size with steak?
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, to me, a steak always goes with fries. Like steak fries is to me perfect. I mean,
I want a salad. And I want my fries.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of restaurants in New York City that have opened up now that all they are just steak fries, right? It's just they bring you French fries, steak. How do you want to cook? And you get a salad first. That's it, easy, right? That and some wine. What else do you need? It's a perfect meal.
The perfect meal.
And I'll throw some asparagus with mine. No. Anyway, Jimbo, we got to wrap this baby up.
Phil, thank you so much for coming by. We know we have a busy conference. We're thrilled that you partnered with us to help make Innovation Alley happen. And we got a lot of festivities. And most importantly, we're going to be showing off a lot of really emerging and awesome tech companies. And thank you for everything you're doing for Branded, with Adyen, and of course for the industry that we all love. We appreciate you.
Yeah, but Phil, before we go, how do you say the company name? Is it Adyen? And how do they say it in the Netherlands?
It's Adyen here in the States.
Adyen.
You can say it Adyen overseas or Aiden.
What's the other one? What's the cool way? You told me the cool one. When we had dinner, you told me the cool way.
There was too many cocktails, I don't remember.
No, you said it was like Adyen.
Adyen. I can't say.
I
can't say it like Dutch.
If you gave Schatzy that many choices, he'll never get the name.
We'll just go with Adyen. We'll be good.
All right. Well, listen, Phil Crawford, Adyen. I got to tell you, we appreciate you. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you.